Everyone thinks a portable AC is a quick fix for any hot room, but here's the thing: most portables underperform because people judge by ASHRAE BTUs, not real SACC cooling, and they skip setup details that make or break performance. With the GE APWD10JASG, that difference is the whole story. I spent 2 weeks testing it through a 92-degree heatwave, meter in hand, sound meter rolling, and a bedroom that usually turns into a sauna by 3 p.m. On paper, it's a 10,000 BTU unit. In the real world, only smart setup, realistic expectations, and a few tweaks decide if it cools like a champ or just blows coldish air. What I discovered surprised me and will probably save you money and frustration. Before we dive into what I discovered and the surprising test results, a quick heads up. If you're already leaning toward the GE APWD10JASG and want the current best price, the link is below. But hang on, because how you install and use it matters more than you think. Here's the setup. I needed a portable AC for a 12 by 15 foot south-facing bedroom, about 180 square feet with direct afternoon sun and a flat roof. Central air struggles upstairs, and last summer I cycled through 2 budget portables that blasted noise, soaked the condensate pan, and barely dropped the room 2 degrees. I was skeptical about another 10K BTU unit, but hopeful GE's build quality and smart features would help. My goals were simple: hit 74 degrees F from an 80 degrees F room in under an hour, keep noise under 60 dB on a usable fan setting, and avoid babysitting a drain bucket every night. I also needed a window kit that didn't rattle loose or leak hot air around the edges, because my last one literally bowed in the heat. Stakes were high. If this failed, I was going to bite the bullet on a pricier dual hose alternative. Testing time: Scenario 1, speed to cool. Starting at 80 degrees F and 55% humidity, door closed, blinds down, I ran the APWD10JASG on cool, 65 degrees F setpoint, fan high. At the 15-minute mark, the room hit 77, by 30 minutes 75. It reached 74 degrees F right around 48 minutes, not window unit fast but respectable for a portable. But then the sun hit the glass at 3:15 p.m. and the temperature tried to creep back up. The GE held 74 to 75 degrees F with the fan on medium once the initial pull down was done. That's key. Pull down fast on high, then maintain on medium. Scenario 2, noise and livability. Measured at 1 meter, I got roughly 54 to 55 dB on low, 58 to 60 dB on medium, and 63 to 65 dB on high with the compressor active. You'll want medium for sleeping in most cases if you're noise sensitive. High is more for the first half hour of cooling or masking street noise. The tone is more whoosh than rattle, which helps. But then when the compressor cycles, there's a brief thump. You'll notice it in a silent room. Not a deal breaker, just reality for a portable. Scenario 3, power and cost. On my smart plug, the GE drew about 980 to 1050 watts during steady cooling, with a short surge to 1150 watts at startup. Over a 2-hour late afternoon block, it averaged around 0.95 kWh per hour on high, 0.85 kWh on medium, holding 74 degrees F. Figure your local kWh rate to estimate cost. Efficiency is what you'd expect for a 10K class portable, not inverter quiet levels, but not a power hog either. Scenario 4, humidity and drainage. Auto evaporation handled most of the condensate in my moderate humidity tests. In a tough test at 78 degrees F and 70% RH, I collected 1.2 liters over 2 hours, so yes, in very humid conditions you may need to drain occasionally. The rear drain port is accessible, but you'll want a shallow tray or a short hose. Dehumidify mode works, but remember, it makes heat in the room unless you exhaust it, so cool mode is your primary summer play. Install and fit. The window kit covers standard slider windows. Out of the box, mine needed careful foam sealing to stop hot air infiltration around the panel and the hose collar. Without sealing, you lose a couple degrees of performance, which is why many people think portables are weak. Take 10 extra minutes with weather stripping and you'll feel the difference. The hose is thick and radiates heat. Keep it as short and straight as possible. And yes, portables create negative pressure that can pull warm air from adjacent rooms. Keeping the door closed helps. But here's where it gets interesting. The GE's smart scheduling and remote control via the SmartHQ app on the connected version actually changed how I used it. Pre-cooling the room 30 minutes before bedtime meant I could run high when I wasn't in the room, then step down to medium right as I walked in. That alone made it feel quieter and cooler without changing the unit's hardware. My biggest surprise after 2 weeks, this GE performs exactly like a solid 10K ASHRAE portable should, but only if you play to its strengths: fast pull down, tight seal, and short hose. Expect real-world SACC cooling in the mid-5000 to mid-6000 BTU range, which aligns with how it behaved in my tests. Compared to a premium dual-hose design, the GE doesn't match raw efficiency in high heat or sun-blasted rooms, but its build feels sturdy. The controls are straightforward, and the cooling curve is predictable. I tested it against a budget no-name unit from last year. The GE reached target temperature about 12 minutes faster and cycled less, which reduced that swampy humidity feel. Too good to be true? No, there are trade-offs. The window kit is passable, not premium. Plan on extra foam. The hose is bulky and can kick heat back into the room if you snake it. Keep it straight. On high, noise will bother light sleepers. And if you're in a coastal climate or a basement that lives at 70% humidity, occasional draining is part of the deal. But balanced against price and availability, the GE APWD10JASG hits the sweet spot for small to medium rooms where you can seal the window properly. Now that you know how to get real performance out of this unit, short hose, sealed kit, smart pre-cool, you'll want to grab it before peak heat drives stock low and prices up. I've linked the best current price below, along with the sealing foam I used to boost performance by a couple degrees. Bottom line, I recommend the GE APWD10JASG for bedrooms, home offices, and small living rooms up to about 300 square feet if you can seal the window well, and you value reliable, predictable cooling with simple controls and app scheduling. Skip it if you need whisper-quiet operation, you have a large open-concept space, or you're battling extreme afternoon sun without shades. A higher-end dual hose or window unit will outperform it there. For everyone else, set it up right and it does exactly what you're buying it for. It makes hot rooms livable. That's the truth nobody tells you until you test it.